Hello, badass woman. Let me fix my hair. I feel a little disheveled today. Anyway, I am Lisa Czak, and welcome to Create Your Future Self. I am going to tell you how to create your future self. It's so fucking easy. You're gonna die. Like, when I actually go through what you're gonna do, you're gonna die. It's so easy. You're gonna be like, gee, why didn't I think of that? So, I wanna point something out. You are actually creating your future self right here, right now. Mind blowing, right? You are, just by you're not even trying, right? You're not even doing anything. You're, making dinner as you're listening to me or taking a bath, watching me, whatever it is you're doing. You are creating your future self right here, right now. Each second of every day, you are creating your future self. That was a close up. Without even knowing, without even trying, with no intention whatsoever. So, if this is happening, if it's inevitable, right? It's inevitable. It's happening anyways. Why not create her with intention? Create your future you on purpose. Cindy! One of my worthy women. Cindy was in my worthy woman experience. And I just saw you pop up. Cindy, I hope that you are still doing all of the things that you learned in Worthy Woman and creating yourself every single day anew. So anyways, why not, if it's happening anyways, right? You're just sitting here doing nothing and you are creating your future self by doing nothing. Why not do it intentionally, right? Let's create her on purpose. I'm getting notifications of people that are popping up right now. Yeah, I feel like an air traffic controller. I have all these different screens. Anyway, so this whole thing came about. I don't know if any of my babes are watching. I told them to watch today. This whole thing came about because of the women that come to me, right? The women that come to me for help, that want to hire me, they have extra weight to lose on their bodies, right? On their physical body, they have extra weight. I have yet to work with any skinny bitches, okay? It just doesn't happen. Skinny bitches don't come to me, don't hire me to work with them, because that's not who I'm attracting into my life, right? So the women that I work with have extra weight, right? And the extra weight on your body is really hiding what's really going on. Cindy, you know this to be true, because in Worthy Woman, we did a lot of healing work, a lot of soul work, right? So the extra weight on your body is hiding like how you really feel about yourself, your life, your relationships, your jobs, your finances, where you live, like all of it, right? That weight is like a shield. Hell yes, Cindy, yay, rock on, sister. So that is who I work with, right? So they're coming to me, they think they're coming to me to simply lose weight on their body. But then I get a hold of them and it's like, those tears start falling, emotions start coming up, shit they didn't even know is happening. So they usually come to me, not usually, I'm going to say always, like every single woman that comes to me crying, emotional, feeling defeated, feeling discouraged, saying, I was once so fit, I worked out every single day, right? I ran track, I lifted weights, I was the fittest I've ever been, and I, lost all that weight only to gain it back again. And then I lost myself again. And they don't know why it keeps happening. They say that it's like one day they were working out and feeling confident and sexy in their bodies, right? And then the next day they look in the mirror and they're like, who the hell is that chubby bitch staring back at me? Who the hell is she, right? Or suddenly years go by, months go by, I don't know, however long goes by. They haven't worked out. They haven't moved their bodies. They haven't done anything. And they see a picture of them. It's usually a picture, right? That's a catalyst. Pictures. That was my thing too. That suddenly they don't recognize themselves in pictures or in the mirror, and they hate what they see reflected back, right? All this horrible self-talk. And they're crying to me and they're saying, Lisa, why? Why does this keep happening? Why do I keep gaining weight and losing weight? And then I lose myself and da 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 da. Right? And so I tell them what I'm about to tell you. Like, I'm literally going to tell you why this keeps happening. And I know because I've lived it firsthand. I lost 80 pounds only to gain half of it back. Right? And I know exactly how it happened and why it happened. I mean, there's a much bigger and longer story to my weight, both my weight loss and my weight gain, which you can read in my upcoming book, Portal Tears. I'm not going to go into it here because it's way too long. But I'm mentioning it because I want you to know that I know what you are going through. I have been there. I have felt this in my own skin down to my core. I got myself out of it, and I help women now get themselves out of this. It's like a hamster wheel, right? It's like some fucking hamster wheel or some movie that you're watching that like you can't get out of. It's like a cycle, right? It keeps happening and happening and happening. And my job is to make sure that you never have that happen again, so that when you look in the mirror, you really love the woman reflecting back at you, right? That you don't look in the mirror and say, oh my God, how did this happen again, right? That's a lot to do with lessons that you haven't learned. And that's a whole nother thing too. Again, that's in my book. That's a whole nother life I'll have to do for you guys. Okay, so maybe Cindy, you can type in comments. How are they going to do this, Cindy? Let's see how much Cindy retained in Worthy Woman, my 7-week experience. Or if any of my babes are watching, how do you think I'm going to tell these women out here who are looking to me to be their lifeline to get them out of this cycle of gaining weight and losing themselves and gaining weight and losing themselves over and over and over again? How? Does anybody have any clue? If you do, type it in comments, please. I'm going to give you a second to do that. And while you're doing that, if anyone's typing, I want you to get a pen and paper because I actually want you to get something out of this, okay? I don't want this to be one more free experience that you listen to and because you have nothing good is on Netflix. And, well, Lisa's on, so I'll watch her. And I want you to get something out of this, right? Think of it, pretend like you just paid me $1 million. You just paid me $1 million to tell you how to get out of this fucking cycle off the fucking hamster wheel that you've been on. So act as though you just paid me $1 million to watch this and actually get something out of it, okay? Okay, so Eliana, my baby, she says, yes, love yourself first. She actually wrote a song about it. It's the best song ever. I'll have to post it in the group. And maybe I did. And Cindy says, be fucking honest with yourself first. Cindy, my worthy woman. That's my only rule. Hey Melissa, any of my private clients, any of my babes, any woman I work with will tell you my only rule is honesty. And it's being honest with yourself, not me. What the hell do I care if you eat donuts or don't eat donuts, right? I mean, I care. Don't get me wrong. I care. However, it's no skin off my back, right? It's you. You're the one that's going to have to live with it. It's about living your life with integrity. Okay? Again, I could do a whole nother live on that. So yes, Cindy, you're absolutely right. Cindy said, I was a liar to the people, a liar to myself. And the day I told the truth was the day I fell in love with myself all over again. Right, just like Eliana said, like love yourself first. Exactly, it's about having integrity with yourself. So the way you're going to go about doing this, Melissa said I did have a donut today. Are you spying on me? That is really weird. Melissa is one of my babes. She came to me wanting to be a surrogate. That was her I am, right? And everyone, they were like, oh, you're overweight. You can't do that, da, 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 right? And once we did some healing work with her and realized that she was stuck, right? Like literally and figuratively. Boom, the door's open. The woman's a surrogate now. How far along are you, Melissa? And don't give me that bullshit that it's for the baby. We're not using the baby as an excuse. Anyway, yes, I am spying on you. I just know things. I don't know how. It's because of the prayer that I do before this. I say, God, use me. Tell me the words this woman needs to hear today so that she can become the woman that she's destined to be, that you created her to be. That's literally the only prayer that I say. So anyway, okay, so write this down. Get your paper and pen out. Write on a napkin, write on a paper towel, write on your hand, whatever you need to write on, okay? So this is how you're going to do it. This is how you're going to, what we're talking about. Love yourself first and be honest with yourself. Those are nice, sayings and everything, but we need some action to put behind that. So write this down. Literally write this down. Hello, Diane, one of my babes also. Hello. Okay, your friend Maria is here. That's good. Melissa's 26 weeks pregnant. The baby doesn't want anything specific. It's all me. Yes. Okay, are you ready? Write this down. I'm going to tell you how the hell you're going to get out of this fucking cycle of losing yourself, gaining weight, losing yourself, gaining weight, right? How to create your future self right here, right now. You are going to write this down. Every thought, action, behavior, decision, and person, hey Diane, that in your life needs to be aligned with this vision you have of yourself. And I'm not talking about the vision where you look at yourself and you're being all mean to yourself. I'm talking about the woman, think back to a time where you were just fucking rocking your clothes. You felt sexy as fuck. You were just felt like magical. People were even, saying, you're glowing and, oh my God, what are you doing? And you just felt alive and vibrant and energized, right? Think back to that. You probably want to be her again, but just better, right? With more experience, with more lessons learned. So write that down. Every thought, action, behavior, person, and decision needs to be aligned with the vision of yourself, okay? You're going to ask yourself that in everything you do, everything you think, everything you say, everything you feel. Is this aligned with who I want to be? Hey, Jackie. Okay, so this is one of my babes. Lisette, are you on here? Lisette was brilliant. Lisette came up, she wrote on a chalkboard, and she sent me a picture, and it said, I'm going to read it so I do it right. Does this support the life I am creating? Write that shit down. Fucking write it down. I'm serious. Write this shit down so that you remember it. You anchor it in your brain. I'm not just telling you to do it because it's fluff work or a time filler. I want you to get something out of this, okay? Does this, whatever it is, fill in the blank, support the life I am creating? So whatever it is, are you, like Melissa, right? You're eating a donut, okay? And I'm not donut shaming you, right? I'm not all about that. I'm just saying that in the moment, before you eat the donut, just ask yourself, is this supporting the life I'm creating? If it is, eat the damn donut. Okay? It's all right. It's just a donut. But you're always asking yourself, if you're having like some negative thoughts going on, like, let's see. Yeah, Elise is in here. Okay, so Elise is one of my babes she wants to start sending out resumes for a job, but she's having some thoughts like, I'm not really good enough. I'm not qualified to do that, right? And I said, bullshit, right? Is that thought creating and supporting this life that you're wanting to create, this vision of yourself? No, that thought is not in alignment with who you want to be, with where you're headed, with what you're, where you're going. So does this support the life I am creating? That includes thoughts, actions, decisions, behavior, and people. My dad has a saying, how do you expect to soar with eagles if you're hanging around turkeys, right? And that's so true. Look at the people in your life. The people that you surround yourself with the most are the people who you start becoming. Right? I mean, yes, you can also be influencing them, having a ripple effect, but really notice how you feel. When you're around certain people, notice how you feel. I don't care who it is. Notice the feelings that come up. And like Cindy said, be honest with yourself, right? If you're going over to visit, I don't know, even like your mom, your mother-in-law, friend, and you have some yucky feelings coming up, like dread, you're like, oh God, I gotta go see her again. It's time to reevaluate and maybe I need to thin the herd a little bit. So Cindy, one of my worthy women, before she became a worthy woman, you were thinking about doing the PhD program, right? I don't remember now. It seems like you've always been doing the PhD program. And she got a 4.0 in the program. At age 52, she decided, oh, hell yes, I am good enough to go and get a fucking PhD at 52 years old. Hell yes. And then a 4.0 on top of it, right? She said, all of what you have taught me is manifesting. This decision was one in an unhealthy fear. Yes, right? She had some self-talk going on there. You guys know this, right? How many times have you said to yourself, I'm not good enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not this, or I can't do that. Like we say age, right? And I work with women of all ages, and I see this across the board, I see it like in the 18-year-olds I work with. I see it in the 82-year-old. That's the oldest woman that I work with. And I see it across the board, right? Enough of this not feeling worthy and not feeling good enough or saying, I can't possibly do that at my age. Fuck that. At age 45, I became a personal trainer. The gym class loser became a personal trainer. I was the gym class loser. Again, all this is in my book, Royal Tears. And anything is possible, right? And had I not gotten up to 226 pounds, I never would have met my trainer, and I never would have opened up all these doors that opened up, right? Like that, my former self, that opened up doors for me. It was a blessing in disguise. Okay, so did you write it down? Every thought, action, decision, person, behavior needs to be in alignment with who you are, like who you want to be, who you desire to be, the woman God created you to be, okay? It needs to support this life that you are creating, okay? The second thing, you're only write down 2 things, so don't freak out on me, right? It's not school. The second thing you're going to write down is, who do I want to be in this moment? So let's say, I don't know, you walk out in the morning and your children have left, there's shit everywhere, and you want to scream and yell and swear and like blow up, right? And then you're going to ask yourself, you're going to breathe and pause and say, who do I want to be in this moment? And do I want to give my power away? Do I want to emotionally react, or do I want to respond? Okay, we go over all this in Babes. So who do you want to be in the moment? So I hope you wrote that down. Don't just say you did, okay? So next is, so this is all great. So I'm teaching you how to do this, right? But really, really the first step is decide what you really want, right? Not with your thinking brain, but with your subconscious brain. What I mean by that is just blurt out the first, you can post it in here or write it down or just blurt it out. What's the first thing that comes to your mind? If I say to you, I'm your magic genie, what do you really want? And I don't mean like, I don't know. I mean, anything's possible, but I mean, like, what do you really want? Like, usually it's something that you're embarrassed to say out loud, okay? Like maybe you've never told anyone, or you're embarrassed, or you think it's unattainable. Cindy, maybe at some point you wanted to get a PhD, but you were too embarrassed to say it. I don't know if that's true or not, but things like that, right? So when I say that, what do you want? What comes up for you? Write that shit down. That means something. Whatever comes to your mind, boom, like the first thing, that's real. That's raw. And now you're finally fucking being honest with yourself, right, Cindy? Cindy had a fear of being left out and alone, how she ended friendships because she thought they left me out of things. And someone just told me that an eagle flies high and alone. Oh, I just said that. That's so weird. Damn, that's deep. I have a lot of flying to do. Yes, you do. You want to fly. You want to soar with eagles. Now, you don't want to hang around turkeys. I don't work with turkeys. I only work with eagles. So, yes, so write it down. And what we're doing is we are giving your brain, so our brains tend to seek out what's familiar. That's why you keep turning to food, alcohol, sugar to cope, right? That's why you keep gaining weight and losing weight, gaining weight, losing yourself, right? Because it's familiar to your brain. This is what your brain is used to. And the reason I'm wanting you to write down what is it you really want and all these other things I told you to write down, if you didn't, go back and you have to listen to the replay, is because I'm trying to rewire your brain. I'm trying to give your brain a new direction to head in, right? Something else to think about besides all this other stuff that you've been conditioned and programmed to think about. And I don't mean like zombies and weird things. Everyone, the first 7 years of our life, that's when all of our programming and conditioning happens. That's true for everyone across the board, every human being, okay? So you're not going to go back, and I don't want you getting off of this and screaming at your parents and, you know, whoever raised you. It's not about that. It's not about blame. So we are rewiring your brain. So would you guys agree that your former familiarity, your former familiar, okay, is no longer serving you? If you agree, put agree in comments. Right? Whatever this pattern is that you've been in is not serving you. Lori, hey, Lori. So Lori said, I want to be confident enough to make my life work for me instead of everyone else. Okay, so we're going to get a little lesson here. Lori, let's take out the want, because you don't want to wake up wanting, do you? Who here wants to wake up wanting and pining away for something, right? Like you wake up and you're like, I just want to feel confident. I just want to live my life for my fucking self and not for everyone else, right? So we're taking away want. Instead, so Lori, your new powerful statement is going to be, I am confident and making my life work for me. And even take out the instead of everyone else. Like you don't even need that, right? Just, I am confident to make my life work for me. That's like your powerful statement, okay? And you guys are all agreeing, yes, that your former familiar is no longer working for you. It's no longer serving you. So would you agree that we need to give your brain a new direction to head in, right? A new familiar. You see how we're taking the blame off of anyone else, off of us. We're not beating ourselves up. We're not shaming ourselves or anything. This is simply, I'm telling you the science behind it. Cindy, you're a science teacher, so you will appreciate this. When you look at the science behind it, that it's a brain chemistry thing, and that you can change it, right? Because if this was your former familiar, you can absolutely get a new familiar. It's not even a habit. That's bullshit. It's not even a habit. That's fucking, 21 days to a habit. It's familiar. Your brain needs a new familiar. So, hey, Denise. So Denise said, I am confident to make my life work for me. Yes, exactly. Because you want to wake up being this person, embodying what you desire, not wanting, not pining away, not wishing, right, for it. Like I say, someday's never coming, okay? It's only right here, right now, the present moment. You create your future self by being her in the present. Cindy says, I am going to work full-time at a university with full benefits at the salary commensurate to my worth. I'm gonna cry, Cindy. Okay, Cindy, you just made my whole night. She went through my 7-week Worthy Woman program, and to hear words like that come out of women's mouths, this is why I do what I do. This is what it's all about for me. This is what it's all about. You were not put here. God did not put you on the earth to accept crumbs. He wants you to have the whole cake, icing too, and even the raspberry filling in the middle, okay? All right. So now, so you guys wrote it down, I hope, right? You can share it here. I suggest if you're watching this, share it here. Like, enough hiding already, right? You're already hiding maybe under layers of fat that you've accumulated, right? I don't know. I can't see you. Claim what you want right here, right now. I want everyone that's watching to post it in comments, okay? We're not fucking around anymore. Like, you get one shot at life. That's it. And the only thing worse than waiting years, right, to actually take care of yourself, to feel confident, all the things that you desire, is waiting years and one more second. No more, okay? Claim it here. So Cindy said, get specific to my desires. Yes. God's a busy guy. You can't be just like, oh, I would, all vague. I would like to be happy. Okay, well, what does that mean? What does that even mean, right? Be specific. Okay, so we are giving your brain a new direction to head in. Okay, so what I call this, Cindy, do you remember what I call this? I call this your North Star, okay? The North Star guides every thought, action, behavior, decision, and person you allow into your life. You see how you're in control, okay? You are driving the car. You know where you're headed. You have a destination in mind, okay? Because does anybody here get in the car and just say, I don't know where I'm going. I'm just going to drive aimlessly, right? No. Like, when you get in that car, you're going to work, you're going to the store, you're going to your kid's soccer game, wherever you're going, like, you have a destination in mind, you know the direction you're headed, right? Why not do the same for your life, right? Be in control of the direction that you are headed in, steer in the direction of your desires, right? Slam right into those bitches. Woo! There's the desire. Boom! Crash right into that fucking desire. Crash into it, right? Be in control of the direction you are headed in. So the North Star is the powerful statement that, and I don't know if there's a lag time or if you guys aren't able to post in here, but so let's use Cindy for an example, okay? So Cindy, she's saying, I am going to work full-time at a university with full benefits and a salary commensurate to my worth, okay? So that means, Cindy, from this point on, that's your North Star, okay? That right there is your North Star. So any thought that comes into your brain, it needs to be aligned with that, okay? Is that thought aligned with me working full-time and getting benefits and making a great salary, knowing that I'm worth it? Right? Is this decision, is this behavior, is this person aligned with that? Okay? If you got haters in your life or people who, are doubting you, get rid of them. Get rid of them. And Lori, let me see if I can go back. Lori, let's see, Lori. So Lori Lori's confident to make her life work for her. Okay, instead of everyone else. So Lori, what's going to happen is the universe is going to send you all kinds. Cindy knows this. Cindy, Diane, all my babes know this, right? The second you proclaim this, the universe is going to test you. Okay, you're going to get all kinds of chances to practice this, being confident, right? To practice making your life work for you instead of everyone else. So Lori, you're proclaiming this tonight, and right, you're yeah, baby, I'm confident and my life's working for me. And then you're going to wake up in the morning and like something's going to happen, right? That's going to test you to see, how confident are you, Lori? Are you going to make this, whatever it is, work for you? Or are you going to make it work for this other person? And welcome that, right? Cindy, Diane, you guys know, welcome that. That's what I call triggers. Welcome those triggers. They bring it on, bitches. I'm ready for it because I know where I'm headed. I know exactly where I'm going. I am in the driver's seat and I'm going to slam right into my desires, okay? So your thoughts, your actions, your behaviors, your decisions, and the people in your life, Lori, need to be in alignment with you being confident and taking care of you, not everyone else. And you're going to be asking yourself, I'm using Lori and Cindy because they gave me specific examples, and Denise too. So you're going to ask yourself, so Denise's thing is, I am confident to make my life work for me. So say some doubts come in your head, right? You're human. Like, we're not going to be able to erase like any kinds of doubts, or you just have to flip those bitches around. So a doubt comes in. What are you going to do? You're going to say, oh, wait a minute. I know what this is. Lisa talked about this. This is one of those trigger things that she talked about, right? And you're going to ask yourself, who do I want to be in this moment? And you can acknowledge, because we're not brushing our feelings under the rug, right? No, we are women. You're going to say, I am having doubts here, and I'm choosing to still be confident, okay? Because we are not brushing our feelings under the rug. We're no longer storing our feelings in our body. That's how weight gets on our body. It starts internal, and then it shows up on the outside, right? So you're simply asking yourself, like, who do I want to be in this moment? Acknowledging it. And same with you, Lori, with the whole taking care of other people, making your life work for you instead of other people. So you're going to be asking yourself, okay, I'm really pissed off that, whoever, I don't know. I'm really pissed off that my colleague wants me to just drop everything and make it work for him. And I'm going to choose to make it work for me. I'm going to choose confidence, and I'm going to choose to make it work for me. You see how that works? Okay. All right. So if you guys have any questions, just post in comments. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep going. So what I tell my babes, you probably remember this, Susie, you probably remember this. I don't know if I said this at Psycho or not, but you're human. Okay, I can't do anything about that. I'm sorry. I mean, yes, you're all superheroes also, but you're human. So it's not about perfection. You're going to have times where you make a wrong turn. Okay, you don't have to drive off the fucking cliff just because you make a wrong turn, right? You just simply head back in that direction. You find your North Star. You look up. There's my North Star. Okay, remember who I am. I remember where I'm headed. And you head back in the right direction, okay? And that's where I come in, like with Cindy knows this and Worthy Woman. And this is where I come in when you join Babes, okay? What's going to happen is you're going to need time to practice going in your new direction. You're going to need time to practice your new familiar because it's not familiar. It seems obvious, right, to say that, but it's true. Like, this is not your new familiar. It's not your brain's new familiar. And your brain, it's not just your brain, all of our brains like to keep reverting back to familiarity. That's why I used to be an addictions counselor, and that's why it's so hard to beat addiction, because that is the brain's familiarity. That's the brain's coping mechanism. And that's why it's tough. It's challenging, right? And that's why, like, everything I learned as an addictions counselor, I now utilize with my babes and any woman that I work with, right? Because it's true for weight loss, any kind of pattern that you're trying to get out of. It's not a pattern so much as it's familiarity. So I want you to ask yourself, be honest, post in comments, how long have you been in your former, or maybe like we're no longer in it. Let's do it this way. You're deciding right here and right now, right? That you're no longer in that unhealthy familiarity, right? No longer. We're all claimed your North Star, where you're headed. So how long were you in your former, just, a few minutes ago, familiarity? Like, be honest. Has it been your entire life? Has it been just, the last 2 months? Has it been the last year? Like, be honest with yourself. So, because even if it's an unhealthy cycle, your brain doesn't know the difference. Your brain isn't like, oh no, I'm not going back to this pattern of familiarity because it's unhealthy. Your brain doesn't know that. Your brain is just seeking out familiarity, okay? And your brain is going to keep reverting back to that. So I'm asking you how long you were in your former unhealthy familiarity pattern that you were in that's no longer serving you, because I want you to understand that you're not just going to listen to this tonight and be cured, right? It doesn't, Diane and Cindy, any other my babes in here, are you cured in one session? Melissa, right? Be honest. Of course not. I have yet to have one person who's just like cured, like, oh, one session with Lisa, right? I'm not God. I'm not Jesus. You'll have to wait for that kind of cure, that kind of healing. It takes time, because however long you were in this former familiarity pattern, right, that's no longer serving you, I want you to think about that in your brain. Okay, I've been like that for 50 years. So it might take a little bit, right, to make my brain seek out a new familiar. So that's really familiar. And you're going to do that by practicing. That's why I'm saying welcome those triggers. When your confidence gets shattered and you get a chance to get it back, right? Welcome that, because then your brain will start seeking that out. So, and if who in here is in a pattern of what I was talking about, which it seems like all my women are. I'd be shocked if anyone in here wasn't in a pattern of gaining weight, losing weight, gaining weight, losing weight, that fucking hamster wheel. Post in comments. I don't know why I'm not seeing your comments. Oh, wait. Oh, you guys just now all popped up. So Denise, I'm going to take fear and worry out of my life so I can truly live and be the adventurous, carefree person I used to be. I love that. And Denise, it's okay to have fear and worry, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, you're human, but you're going to flip those bitches. I call those little bitches, right? You're going to flip those bitches. You're going to be like, I am afraid right now, and I know it's a chance for me to be brave, because you can't have brave without scared. I'm worried right now, but I know worry isn't serving me, and I'm no longer a woman who worries. So I'm going to choose fill in the blank, right? Cindy is saying, being here is my confirmation. I know this. Eliana says, I am love. Okay. Jackie, I will become a homeowner with money saved in the bank and having lots of energy to stay healthy and working out. I love this. Everyone will know me as a great teacher and a softball empire. Specific. You see how specific she was? I love this. And now you're going to have all of these chances, right, to practice being all of those. That's your North Star. Cindy said, erasing self-doubt and writing positive affirmations. I have to get back to exercising and my body to impact my thoughts. The quickest way to change a thought is to move a muscle, by the way. Okay? Like, if you're pissed off or like just fucking, going down a rabbit hole, start doing some jumping jacks, some sit-ups, go for a walk. Like, just move your body in any way. Because you guys have all been in workouts where like you can't think of anything else, right? Like, you might have been so pissed off before you got in that workout, and then after the workout, you just feel so much better. You're like, yeah, that's the purpose. That's why in Babes, we do a soul session, and then we do a body movement session. And the body movement session is not to get 6-pack abs or, to run marathons, although you could have those goals. I'm not saying you can't. But it's twice a week, Babes. So the real motivation behind that for me is to get you out of your heads. Like, we end the session, every session we end with a body movement section to it. And that is to, again, get your brain, it's twice a week. So we're starting to get your brain rewired to exercising, moving your body so that you see, there's a lot of babes, they come in there and they're like, I didn't want to be here today. Right? They get all bitchy. And then by the end of the session, they're happy and glowing. They look like they just got fucked every which way. Mm-hmm. That's the truth. So, and that's a real before and after, right? Before they come into base, sometimes they're just like their head's about to explode, right? And then they leave and they look like they just had spa day. It's because we touched on everything: mind, body, and soul. You can't just do one, right? Isn't that a Sesame Street song? You can't have one without the other. Okay, so let's see. Lori, why is it so hard to put ourselves first? It's hard to put yourself first because of what I just talked about, familiarity. Our brains, especially as women and especially as mothers, we are taught, no, we must put our children first, and we must put our husbands first, and everyone has to. That's bullshit, right? Just like the plane, you can't, they say, when you get on the plane, right? This is my favorite thing about flying. I love flying, just so I can have a reminder of this lesson. Do not help others until you put your own oxygen mask on first. If you can't breathe, how are you going to help your kids? How are you going to show up as a powerful employee, as a boss, as a friend, right? It is literally, you will suffocate. You will suffocate. And many of you watching this right now are fucking suffocating. I can feel it. Like I'm weird like that. I take on people's energy even in this. Like I wish this was in person because it would be even more powerful. And Jackie wants to join. You're going to join, babes? All right, fucking join. Yes, this is what I'm saying. No more waiting. So that's what it is. You need a new familiarity. Okay? You're not beating yourself up. You're not being mean to yourself. It's not a character flaw because you were gaining weight after you lost it. I don't care if you lost weight and gained it 80 times in your life, right? It's not a character flaw. There's nothing wrong with you. Look at me. Look in my eyes right now. You are perfect exactly the way you are right here, right now. You are special simply because you were born. I believe that with all my heart and soul. Okay? Along the way, tapes were put in your head. You didn't come into this world thinking, I'm fat, I'm ugly, I'm not confident, I'm going to take care of everyone else but myself, right? You didn't come into this world. God didn't intend for you to come into this world that way. But now you're going to take control of the situation. Now you're an adult. That's true self-care and self-love. It's not about bubble baths and manis and petties. Yeah, those are fun and nice, but they're fluff, okay? It's fluff. The real self-love and self-care is self-parenting, giving the little girl inside of you what she didn't get growing up, telling her, giving her the voice that she didn't have back then. And again, we're not going back. Please don't leave here and like call your parents and scream at them or call whoever did you wrong and scream at them. It's not about that, okay? So, Jackie, I'll send you a link to join Babes. We would love to have you. Cindy says, I'm in a rut of working out and seems stubble with stubble. I don't know what that means. I'm thinking like stubble, like hair. With not being, who I used to be. What the fuck? How do I find that mojo you used to? But my familiar depresses me because I'm not the workout fanatic I used to be. Okay, so, unable. Okay. So here's the thing is, again, that's just Cindy, your brain has gotten so familiar with not working out. Look at what I don't know if you guys can read the comments, but look at Cindy's self-talk. I'm in a rut of not working out and seem unable with not being who I used to be. What the fuck? How do I find that mojo you used to know? But my familiar depresses me because I'm not the workout fanatic I used to be. Okay, so that's some serious self-talk. That's some like programming, conditioning going on there, right? Cindy, that has become your brain's new familiar. That's what we need to change. And like Elise did 7 weeks in Worthy Woman, and it wasn't enough. Like Worthy Woman is really a stepping stone to Babes, because Babes is 6 months minimum. Because I know firsthand how long it really takes to rewire your brain. And so your brain is a new familiar, and life throws a lot of shit. There's a lot of landmines out there in life, right? Is there not? You guys know this to be true, right? Especially the second you decide to change. And you come into Babes and I help you navigate that. I help you make sure that we're taking that brain in the right direction. I say right in quotes because it's whatever direction it is that you want to go in for you. I don't decide that, right? This is your experience. This is your journey. This is your life. It's about taking ownership for that. So Jackie said 3 months regarding weight gain. Denise, 20 years has been her new familiar. And yeah, so that's a long, 20 years is a long time, right? That your brain has been familiar with this. So that's why when I did Worthy Woman and it was 7 weeks, like I knew it would change the women that came in there. I knew it would introduce them to a new way of thinking. And actually what I'm doing with you in here is really a lot of the stuff I do in Worthy Woman too. I had visualizations and stuff. And a lot of the stuff, actually everything that I'm giving you here, it's what I do in Babes. Like you're literally getting it for free tonight. But how many free programs have you been in, right? Challenges. How many free book, like even books, like a $15 book, right? And you read it and you're all psyched up and you're like, yeah, it changed my life. And then it just peters out because it's not your new familiar. And there's no one on the, like a book is great. I mean, I'm writing a book, right? So clearly I believe in self-help books, but also a book, you can't just contact the author. Well, you can in my case when I write my book, but you can't just contact the author and say, hey, but what about this? Like this just came up. What do I do? And that's what Babes is about. Babes is about coming in there and I help you navigate all the triggers and I give you tools and you need to practice those tools. And then Cindy said it's been 5 years of her letting her family put her family first. So Cindy, that's what I'm saying. Like no beating yourself up. Like you're doing the best you can. All of you are doing the best you can. If you knew better, you would do better, right? And this is the first step in you doing better. And I use better very loosely because I don't want it to be like there's a good or I don't like that vibe. I mean better for you, right? Like saying just the fact that you're in here and listening and you're all like really participating. Like, I fucking love this. I love this, right? In fact, I wanted to do like a Zoom thing because of this, because I like to have people who are engaged. And so Babes is for you if you are serious, like if you're ready, like, and I don't call it a weight loss program because do any of you want to join one more weight loss program and say to your families and your spouses, yeah, I joined another weight loss program. I call it a healing and empowerment experience. And Diane said Babes equals awesomeness. And I love Diane. Diane is one of my babes. So that's the thing that we're talking about. Okay, how many of you can relate to this, right? So you're doing a really good job taking care of yourself, right? And then it's like what you're saying, like the wind blows the wrong way and suddenly, all that's out the window, right? Forget that. Whatever happened? Oh, wasn't I on some diet or doing some cleanse? Or say like life gets really busy, right? You're all moms or, you're working women, you have a lot of stuff going on. You're taking care of other people, or maybe like you get into a fight with your spouse, right? And that's enough to derail you and you just stop taking care of yourself. And your brains, this is true for everyone, your brain is conditioned to look for excuses to stop taking care of you. Cindy, why are you texting me? I can't see what you're texting. She just texted me. I don't know what she wants. Anyway, your brains are all conditioned to look for excuses to stop taking care of you. That's really what's happening. Your brain is conditioned to that. And that's your familiar. Oh, well, I make excuses. When it gets too hard, I make excuses and I don't do it. Again, that's why Babes is 6 months. We need to give your brain time. It's like doing brain surgery, right? Without cutting into your skull. And your brain needs time to develop a new familiar. You need time to practice following your North Star. I mean, what's that saying? Rome wasn't built in a day, right? Well, your brain is not going to be rewired in a day either, or even tonight. Like, I'm not going to lie to you guys, right? I'm not going to pretend like after tonight you're cured and everything's going to be honky-dory, right? I don't know what you're going to do after tonight. I have no idea. I mean, I hope you join Babes so that I can help you navigate all this shit. So you can just, be the woman you are destined to be. And you know what I'm talking about. You know, okay? So, or maybe, what about this, right? So on Monday, I'm going to start, right? How many of you have done that? On Monday, I'm going to start my diet. That's when I'm going to eat healthy. I'm going to start exercising on Monday, right? And maybe Monday comes and goes, and then you're like, oh, wait a minute, wasn't I supposed to do something on Monday? Or what about this? You eat healthy all day on Monday, right? You're so proud of yourself. And then Diane, this one's for you. And then come Monday night, you're knee deep in nachos or cookies, or you're like, hey, let's order a pizza, right? How many of you done that? You come on. We have all done that. I have been there. Listen, I do what I do for a living because I've been knee deep in that shit so much that I write a fucking book about it. So Jackie said my boyfriend had to say, well, take you golfing if you run 8 miles per week for the next 4 weeks. Just being rewarded. So are you saying, got me to get up and run 2 hours? Was it hard? No, I just needed someone motivation. Yes. My hope though is that your motivation, like my job is not to motivate you. Okay. You can go on the internet and get all kinds of inspiration and motivation, even though people tell me, Lisa, you're so motivating and inspiring. I don't consider that my job. My job is to make it so that you look inward, you become so like honest as fuck with yourself, right? And you have integrity with yourself. Intrinsic motivation is lasting and it's sustainable. That's why like a lot of challenges, I used to work at Psychosomatic Fitness, did the 6-week 20-pound challenge. I started that whole program. And after they were done, they would gain the weight back, right? It's a quick fix. It's not a quick fix. And they wanted to get their money back. They wanted to get their $500 back. I don't think you should gamble with your health. That's just my own personal opinion. Anyway, so my job is to have you look inward and heal yourself. I help you heal yourself. I help you have intrinsic motivation, right? Not to say everyone needs guides and coaches and like that's all, of course I'm all into that. Like I still have my own people that I work with because of that. I believe in it so much. So Cindy said, Jackie, Lisa helps us to tell the truth and speak to little Jackie's bullshit and learn to heal. Yes, we are all really just little girls walking around, and not just like all of us, like in the world, especially in the world right now. Like there's all these childhood wounds that we've carried into adulthood. That's the weight of the past that you've carried into the future. That's the real weight that you need to shed. Okay. Once you shed that way, and that's not easy. Cindy, is that easy? It is not easy looking back at little Jackie, little Cindy, little Lori, little Diane, little Susie, right? And being really honest. And I'm not talking about like trauma. When I say trauma, a lot of people think I mean like rape, molestation, which of course that's severe, right? I'm talking about the more insidious things, not being invited to the party, not, being excluded, eating lunch alone in the bathroom, things like that, right? Being told that you're not worth it, favoritism in a family, things like that, that maybe like being told you're an unwanted baby. That's a big thing, right? Being told you were an ugly baby. Those create wounds inside of you that you don't even realize and you carry forward. And the women I work with, it's like we deal with it. I say we because I don't have any distinction between me and you. It's not me and you, right? No, like I am you. Like I feel like we're all in the same tribe of the women that I work with. And you carry that weight into the future and it shows up in your life in other ways. And that's why when you say things like, why does this keep happening to me? Why? That's a clue. That's a clue of an unhealed wound that we need to go back and we need to heal. It creates a crack in your spiritual foundation, and it allows a very tiny crack. I'm not saying you're broken. It's a very tiny crack, and it allows toxic people, toxic experiences to sort of seep in there, right? Very insidiously. And people like us, right? Like women like us tend to turn to food to cope with these things. And our weight is an emotional barometer. I call that emotional weight gain, right? It's a barometer of how are you really doing emotionally. And like for me, myself, when I gain weight, it's the first signal. Okay, I got to check in here. I got to check on little Lisa, see what's going on. If there's any more wounds that need to be healed, right? That's all the kind of stuff that we do in Babe. So it is not your typical weight loss program at all. That's why I don't even like to call it a weight loss program, because you're shedding internal weight, you're healing unhealed wounds, you are learning how to set boundaries, you're learning how to take care of yourself. A big thing about taking care of yourself is learning how to set a boundary, like being okay with saying no. How many times in here, be honest, you guys, have you said yes when you really meant no? I mean, to like anything, right? Like anything. I had to do so much work on that, and I still catch myself sometimes doing that. I had a situation last week where I almost said yes when I meant no. And I almost was gonna lie and say like I was sick and I couldn't go, instead of just being honest. Ooh, I had to like really check in with myself on that one. So, okay, what do we have here? Okay, let's see. Cindy said, Jackie, Lisa helps us to tell the truth. Oh yeah, we just said that. Okay. Jackie says, oh, this is what you need. Cindy says, Master Luke, Lisa Czak, I'm the Jedi. Maybe the Jedi, maybe the, what's his name? Yoda. That I like to say that too. Okay, how many of you have said, I'm gonna try losing weight? Anytime you use the word try, that's bullshit. Be honest with yourself. Like I'm talking about little things, right? When someone says to you, hey, can you stop by tonight? And you say, I'll try. You're full of shit. You have no intention of going over to that person's house. You're already giving yourself an excuse. You're already giving yourself an out. Take the word try, 2 words, the T word and the C word. Try and can't out of your vocabulary. It has no place in your vocabulary. There's no such thing as trying. Either you are or you aren't. I tried to lose weight for 5 years, and the doctor giving me a death sentence wasn't even enough to motivate me. That was not enough. He literally said, you're going to die an early death if you don't lose 80 pounds. That wasn't enough to motivate me. You know what motivated me? A picture of myself. A picture. And I said, who the hell is that? I didn't recognize myself. That's what motivated me. But that feels embarrassing to say it. It doesn't feel embarrassing to me now. Back then, it felt embarrassing to admit that, right? That sounds so shallow to say, like, I didn't like a picture of myself. But it's true. Pictures were my why. That's why I wanted to get healthy and fit. Not because of my early death sentence, which makes no sense. But again, our brains are these miraculous, magical, mysterious, beautiful, and we don't know our brains, like, don't question it is what I'm saying, right? But rewire it. So Diane's learned, Diane has come, like, Diane, you have grown leaps and bounds. You really have. Like, I am so proud. And it's not been easy. It's like, and she's come into Babes like so honest too. And that's another thing. Like, Diane, remember that one time, I don't even remember what it was, but you were like, I didn't even want to come in here and admit this. This is embarrassing. But that's huge, right? So for me, you guys, even having a group, I'm going to be completely honest with you right now. I've never even told anyone this, but it was a leap of faith for me to do a group coaching experience, to run one, because little Lisa never had a good experience with groups of girls. Okay, the girls were always super mean to me. And so just me saying, okay, God, I have faith, I have trust that I'm going to attract women like me, like-minded women. And I'm going to take this. I couldn't get it out of my head. It was like nagging at me, right? I feel like sometimes God puts seeds in your head and he wants you to do something with it, but they seem like crazy at the time, right? And even I was like, what am I doing? A group of women, this could go. Before I did private, I saw clients privately. And then like Susie, and I don't know if anyone else in here from Psychosomatic, I did physical training groups, like there was like 100 people at one time at the East Side, but that was different, right? This is more intimate. This is like an actual group of girls. And so for me, like, I'm not asking you to do anything that I wouldn't do myself, is what I'm saying. And I understand the fear, and I understand the anxiety and the thoughts that are going on, right? Like Diane, you said you were scared shitless to join Babes. She was like super honest. And I know. And so just the fact that I have this group is a huge, huge growth for me personally, that I have faith and that I'm attracting. And again, it's because my North Star is so clear, right? I'm so clear on where I'm headed and where I'm going and the direction I'm going in and the women I'm calling in, that now I don't have any fear at all, right? Nothing whatsoever. Before I was like, I'm only going to take women I know. If I don't know them, they can't come in here, because I was scared. I was like, wait a minute, how am I ever going to grow? How am I going to grow if I only take women I know as clients? That's crazy. This is insane. So I'm still doing work. Like, the work never ends, right? You're constantly checking in with yourself all the time. So what I'm hearing right now, Cindy says, to this day, I don't remember you being overweight. I've only seen the beautiful you are right now. Thank you, Cindy. And I've always told you that. Seriously, your inner spirits. Remember that dance class, the only black girl that couldn't dance? Cindy, she lies though. You could dance. I was the white girl who couldn't dance. You were the black girl who could dance. And she said, I'm the best dancer in the room now. Wait, I'm the only one in here. Dancing my ass off to my North Star. Yes. That's the other thing. I tell my babes to celebrate every step along the way. Celebrate the shit out of the fact that you have been, I don't even know how long we've been on here, but celebrate the fact that you came in here tonight, right? And I'm going to tell you something. You stayed the whole time. Most people don't listen to the whole thing. Actually, I don't know for sure, but I'm just saying that I feel like a lot of people, they don't put their whole heart and soul into it, right? And I asked you at the beginning of this to pretend like you just paid me $1 million to be in this experience tonight. When I show up for anything, like, there's no difference for me from showing up and you guys know this, that have been like, those of you that have invested in my experiences and those of you that have come in for the free experiences, there's no difference. I treat them the same. I give you the same energy, the same oomph, right? As though you paid me $1 million to be in here, because I'm going to tell you why. Money comes and goes. Time only goes. So I understand that the fact that you're in here tonight and it's free is actually more precious, right, than if you had paid me, because you are giving me the gift of your time. And I take that seriously. I take your time very seriously, just like I do my own. Again, I treat you the way I would want to be treated. Or the way, isn't that like oh, I know. Someone told me once, I don't know if this is true or not. Do you guys know, if anyone who's like read the Bible, did Jesus say, I know obviously he said, treat others the way you want to be treated, but did he also say, think unto others the way you would want them to think unto you? Somewhere I heard that, and I don't know if it was in a book or if it was I don't know, but I love that. Like, imagine going around the world thinking unto others as you would want them to think unto you. Like, say you go into a store and a cashier is really nasty to you. Imagine thinking on, like, praying for her instead of being angry with her and getting bitchy back at her. Imagine praying for her maybe she had a really bad day. Maybe her kid is sick and she has to be at work, and we don't know what's going on in other people's lives, right? And we're not condoning poor behavior. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying, like, not giving your power away and praying for her instead. Okay, anyway, so it sounds like what think on those things as though they are true. Is that from the Bible, Cindy? I don't know. I read a devotional now every morning, like scripture from, it's just like a little blurb. And I love it. It sets the intention for my day. So, okay. So I feel like based on like what I've heard you guys talk about, it seems like maybe you're at a fork in the road, right? And it's learning, like in Babes, what I teach you, you know this, all of you in here that have experienced me knows this, okay? It is about learning to take care of yourself even when, fill in the blank, even when my boss is being an asshole, even when I have all these papers I have to write in my PhD program, even when my kids are being little assholes, even when, you know, the guy in front of me is road raging, even when my husband is drunk, even when, you know, whatever, fill in the blank. It's about taking care of yourself even when. That is the key. Even when. And it's reminding yourself, okay? Yes, I had a shitty day at work, and I promised myself I was going to work out tonight, and I'm going to work out even when I have a shitty day at work, okay? Hey, Darlene. I'm glad you could join us. You'll have to watch the replay because there's a lot of stuff in here, okay? So what I'm hearing from you guys is that there seems to be, you're at like a fork in the road, okay? So you can either keep driving with no destination in mind, okay? No direction whatsoever, ending up in the same place, or a place that you really never wanted to be in, like a worse place, right? That's one option, okay? Or you can decide that you're finally going to invest in yourself. Cindy and Diane talked about this, that it was really scary for them to invest like money in themselves. And as women, we have this a lot, I feel like, right? Like, oh, I don't know, am I worth that? You're worth an infinite amount, okay? Let's just get that straight right now. So your other option is to actually invest in yourself, okay? And my goal is when you join Babes, you become unfazed by any distraction life throws at you. Like anything, right? Because you know where you are headed, you know the destination, you have laser sharp focus on who you are, aligning all those things I talked about earlier, every thought, every action, every behavior, every decision, every person in your life with your North Star. You know the woman that you are now, the woman God created you to be, not just in the future, okay? We're not living in the future. That's not what this is about. This is about being her right here, right now, in the present moment, okay? Knowing where you're headed, knowing nothing's going to get in your way because you're going to take care of yourself even when. Imagine waking up feeling like excited, like I can't wait to get to work today. I can't wait to exercise today. Maybe you don't, be honest, maybe you don't want to exercise, but you know you're going to feel like high and amazing after, right? Excited about your life, okay? Your job, like you can't wait. You look in your closet and you're like, oh, what am I going to wear today? Everything fits so good. These pants just glide on me with ease, and you feel alive when you put your clothes on instead of looking in the mirror and going, right? That's not a good vibe. And you're looking at pictures. I say pictures, of course, because it's personal to me, because it's pictures for me. And in the mirror, and you actually like are just loving what you see. Like you're looking in the mirror and going, yeah, I like her. I love her. I like what I see reflected back at me. And it's like emanating from inside out, right? Not just because you lost weight, but because like internally you feel better. And it's about telling yourself, okay, I'm shedding weight, both inside first, then outside. And like making a promise to yourself, like you're never going to lose yourself again. You won't allow it because you're going to start taking care of yourself, even when. And arriving, what's showing up? Oh, Cindy. Yes, Cindy, it was really scary for her to invest money in the one program I did, Worthy Woman. And then it kept showing up. It kept showing up like and multiplying and like every time she would, message me and she's like getting thousands of dollars. I'm like, whoa, it was crazy. Okay. So arriving at your destination of being a babe, a badass bitch, empowered. That's what babes stand for, in case you don't know. Okay, so I feel like I've kept you here long enough, and I really appreciate you hanging in there. Like I said, most people don't get this far, right? Especially watching a free thing. So Cindy is going to strut naked across the room in front of my husband without running to the running to the shower. Okay, that's like a common thing, actually. I can't tell you how many women say to me, like, my I am is I am having sex confidently with the lights on. Or like what you just said, right? I am walking naked in front of my partner. These are the things that we work on in Babes. So let me know when you want to join Babes, and I will hook you up. And I have a link in my bio if you want to just boom, get in there right now. Okay. And I'm going to put a replay of this in the group so you can go back. My hope is that, like, if you're not ready to join Babes, that's okay too. And maybe you just want to listen to this again and again and again and again. It's going to take more than one time. Okay. That's the way it works. I love you, ladies. Thank you so much for showing up tonight. I will see you soon.